Welcome everybody to another edition of Match Review with the Untitled Manny and Marcus Show with special guests Eric. I don't know how I'm doing this intro, but I'm Marcus the Grand Finale, and I'm joined by
Lord Manny. Hey, Hayes!
Who's also joined by
the hater, Eric.
You can't,
bam!
You don't want Jay-Z suing you. You can't be throwing that up.
Bang, bang!
Mick Foley's gonna sue you now.
Well, I'm in brown and yellow, so I'm kind of like in a Cactus Jack shirt, but I'm still chilling on the moon.
Eric doesn't leave the moon. So
that's not actually a shirt. Eric is sitting here naked.
It's a green shirt. Oh, please don't rub the titties, Eric. Don't rub the titties. Don't bring that conduct to YouTube, okay? Save it for your OnlyFans.
Eric has been suspended for conduct on YouTube. Showing his U-boobs.
U-boobs!
Wow.
You know, I'm sure that's a site, right? There has to be. U-boobs.
I just feel like this is going to be all about you guys are hating on me because you know that I have hate in my heart when it comes to talking about this match that I don't understand. Of all the matches you could pick from, this is the match you decided to pick from.
Well, Dave Melting gave this a 5-star match. So I wanted to critique. It's give our own opinions, our analysis.
Excuse me? You gave it a what?
5 stars. So
man,
I wanted to throw our critique to balance the scales of match reviews in the world. So we here at the Sharpshooters want to give a more balanced scale of match reviews, and that's why we are doing this show, because I feel like the scale is always tipped in some other subjective way. And now we have our own subjective Eric on this side here, who 100% hates AEW. We have Manny, who probably loathes it a little bit, and I'm probably in the middle, and I can tolerate it. So that's what we're talking about. We're talking about Kenny Omega, Ray Fenix, what I believe is the second 5-star match of the year, according to Dave Melty. But
we're only 2 weeks into this year, though. But
he's already got I think he's already got 3 or 4 5-star matches.
Yeah.
Two, I believe that's already broken the scale.
So
and I'm assuming all of them outside of WWE.
Oh yeah. Kyle O'Reilly got 4 stars. That was the highest I think he ever give. So anyway,
but maybe Dave went the same route that I went last episode, where I just couldn't give it 5, and so I took away a star for no good reason.
I think he does do that.
Yeah, he does. He's like, I can't let that be my 5-star match. Can't do that if I'm giving this one 5. But anyway, let's talk about World AEW Champion Kenny Omega, the cleaner, the collector, the best bout machine, and he's from North Carolina intro and all, against Ray Fenix for the Lucha Bros. So the match starts right after the commercial break. Kenny has his big lavish intro, and Ray Fenix comes out, after, and they have this match. They start off right away with Hurricanranas right off the bat, and which Ray Fenix is spiked with a Hurricanrana by Kenny Omega. And Eric, I'm going to go to you for the first spot of the night, technically, of the spike Hurricanrana on Ray Fenix.
It's like playing a freaking video game. It's like there's no build up. There is no let me get you a little bit ready. It's just like we're just gonna jump straight into it, and then you jump straight into it with a very impactful move.
So, can you not jump ahead? Okay, I thought you were gonna jump all the way to the end again.
It was a very impactful head scissor spike. I love the move. My problem with it is the lack of selling. It's like Ray Fenix, he looks groggy, but then he runs out to the ring and he stands groggily. And the next thing you know, he goes on a flurry of offense. And it's like, you just got spiked. How could you do this flurry of offense? It made no sense to me.
Maybe he's a tough man, Eric. Maybe he's just a tough man. Some people people get rocked in boxing all the time. People get rocked in boxing and MMA all the time, but they are able to recover. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but not that quickly. If you got dropped on your head, you're not gonna come out full guns blazing. So I agree with Eric.
His series of moves that he did following the spike head scissor makes no sense for a man who just got dropped on his head. If you go to New Japan and you go to the match between Jay White and Ibushi, Jay White worked over Ibushi's ribs the entire match, which prevented him from doing certain moves. I'm sorry. Once you get spiked on your head, I don't think you have that balance to run the ropes until you gather your senses again. That frustrated me.
Wasn't this the whole purpose of this match as well? Because so Penta obviously spiked him on his head in the tournament, I believe.
Yeah.
And then he got injured, and then they felt that he deserved a title match because of that.
Yeah.
So I feel like them not selling this and continuing the story of this nonsense, I feel like that should be one of the criteria when we raise this, is that they did not follow any type of story, nor did this have a story going into it.
And let's also point out, after the head scissors spike, and then
the first spot.
Phoenix goes, Marcus, this first spot really pissed me off. Phoenix goes on his series, and guess what? Omega sells none of his offense. And it's just like, what are we doing here? What are we doing?
All right, can we move into the next sequence?
I would like to know
what you
think about this.
Okay, so they did the Hurricanrana spot. It was fine, but I thought the Hurricanrana looked too much like a flip than it did him landing on his head. I don't feel like he got all of it, if they say on the streets. And that's what funny, because they do it. No, because they do the exact same spot, and I was gonna bring this up in my notes later. They do the exact same spot later when they do a spike Hurricanrana of some kind, and it looks like the exact same thing, but they're like, oh, he counted this time. And I was like, no, it looked like the exact same flip. And it was.
And at this point, it's about 2 minutes in, correct?
We're about a minute and 30 seconds in.
How many Hurricanranas have there been already?
There would be three. There would be three. 3 or 4 Hurricanranas at this point.
Unnecessary.
And then what frustrated me the most, Marcus, and Marcus, let me just move a little bit forward in the match, is that the first time they actually decided to sell any type of moves was a move that I felt was not more impressive than the head scissors. Can you hear me? Or can I hear you, Marcus?
I can hear you, but you're jumping ahead.
No, I was just going to the next thing happens that... Okay, I'll let you lead the way.
Let me continue. I know you got a lot of hate in your heart. Calm down. Let me just read it out, man. I typed these notes for a reason. Come on.
Eric, on your Apple Watch, click that breathe button.
Yeah. Oh, man. I knew this was going to happen. So, Omega, we're after Phoenix finally gives Omega his Hurricanrana, and they go to the outside of the ring, where they decide to stand an extensive amount of time on the outside. At one point, Kenny decides to break a count, even though nobody's counting. He throws Ray Phoenix into a barricade. Ray Phoenix counters, jumps over the barricade, gives Kenny a kick, does a springboard attack of some kind. Excalibur says it's some type of cutter he was going for. Maybe it was. But then Kenny catches him and, flips him on the outside. Kenny works on his back. Those would be the inside. But they were on the outside for at least 3 minutes. I swear to God, and there was not a single count.
And I'm pretty sure this is the point I wanted to bring up, because that's when Kenny hit Phoenix with the Snapdragon. The Snapdragon suplex. Yeah. And for whatever reason, this is the move that Ray Phoenix decided, I'm going to sell this. Let me lay...
Wait. It's a Snapdragon to the outside. I feel like that's more impactful than
a head scissors spike pile driver.
It is. That looks more impactful.
They're about the same, depending. But I get Eric's point of view with the spike Hurricanrana, because that realistically should have put him out for at least a few seconds. That should have been at least a 2 count. Realistically, if you're thinking about it.
Yeah, but adrenaline's a hell of a drug. I feel like the Snapdragon on the outside is a more impactful move.
No, I just feel like they just keep giving me power moves. Like, it's sometimes there's a reason why people do arm bars and clotheslines and stuff like that. And I would say after the Snapdragon suplex, the match slowed down and it became more digestible after that, because Ray Phoenix, when he went back on the offense, he started doing something that Omega was not doing, and that was going for pins. It felt like Ray Phoenix wanted to win this match. I don't know what Kenny Omega's motivation was in this match.
It was to win by any means necessary and cripple the man. Okay? He was really working on his head. So Kenny attempts a pin at one point in this match. I felt like they did a few pins here and there, but I never believed any of these pins. I feel like everybody was
go
going to
back
kick
to all
out.
the pins. Only person who was doing pins was Ray Phoenix because I made sure to pay attention to this.
Nope,
It was
Kenny attempts
only
to
Ray
pin.
Phoenix.
Nope. In my notes,
No,
Kenny
Kenny
attempts to
went
pin.
for a couple, but like,
Yeah, Kenny attempts pins. So, but if you want to go back to a previous match you compared,
Eric.
I know, Eric. I'm like, just relax. Kyle O'Reilly and Finn Balor didn't really do many false finishes or fake pins. They were going for more submissions. If you want to go back to that, so don't attack people for not going for pins.
No, I'm just more upset that this match is considered a 5-star match, and I don't get it. I don't.
Don't worry. This is why we do our show.
Review.
We want to give a more extensive review on matches, a harder critique. Okay, harsh wrestling reviews. Okay, so relax. Don't be upset with Meltzer, man. He's just an old man. An old man can't hurt you, Eric. All right. So Omega gives Phoenix what I put in my notes, a wicked backbreaker. I don't know why I put wicked. I think it was yeah. It was when he picked him up and slammed him over his knee. He gets up, they exchange chops. He Irish whips Phoenix into the corner. He pulls one of those lucha versions of a Dean Ambrose, comes back, slingshots and knocks him down. They sprint and do a dive to the outside. As Excalibur or Jericho said, he nearly took out all the Gun Club with this sprint dive. What did you guys think of the dive? The first technically dive of the match. It was a very intense dive. I liked the dive. I thought it was very fast and looked like it had impact on it, unlike some dives. Eric?
I personally didn't care about the dive because I was already upset about the chop exchange because I saw the match where I didn't have Little Box. I said, like,
no, this is before. We're not in the commercial break. They haven't did the commercial break yet. The chops you're talking about is in the commercial break. This is the first dive. The commercial break is not happened yet.
So they had 2 chop spots?
It's like they did like 2 chops. I already brought up the chops just to get to the dive. They get to the chops, he goes to the outside, and then he dives on them.
Marcus, the coincide with Manny, I've seen dives all the time. I don't care about a dive anymore. I mean, I just don't care. Stop diving.
It's the most solid dive. He's a luchador.
It's the most overused move in professional wrestling right now.
This was a solid dive.
From the schoolboy.
This was a solid dive. No, the most overused move in wrestling is the ankles, the hardest part of the ring slam. I'm sorry of that move. But everybody's like, oh,
I'd rather see that than see a damn dive.
This is a good dive.
I tell you what I preferred that happened on the same week. Shotzi Blackheart nearly dying when she did her dive through Kushida.
At the end of the day, Marcus, it was Ray Phoenix diving on Kenny Omega, right?
Yeah.
Boy, I think he mostly
it's
got
not at the end of the day.
I think he got ring barricades.
He got a lot of barricades. As I said,
he got messed up on the barricade. He's like, what, $150 wet? I mean, like, you could dive with me all you want. It ain't gonna hurt me. That's why I don't like dives. Dives don't do nothing. You're just jumping through the middle rope.
He jumped under the bottom rope, I believe. Where it could have been the middle rope.
I don't care what. He could have jumped over the top rope.
He could have
jumped over the invisible rope.
This dive had force behind it. The invisible rope, huh? That's the most useless rope ever. Like, ow! My face! Kyle O'Reilly reached for the rope.
I tripped over the invisible rope.
Imagine Kyle O'Reilly putting his mouth on the invisible rope, trying to break the hole.
Marcus, I'm just trying to sit here and trying to understand your notes. I really am. You downplayed the head scissor spike, which I thought was an impressive move that no one sold. You downplayed the Snapdragon suplex, and I was like,
I didn't downplay the Snapdragon.
And you want to sit here and talk about this dive? I'm
bringing up the spot. I didn't say. I'm bringing up spots. I never said. I am just reading the spots that happened in the match. And you're saying you're bringing up the dive? The dive was a spot in the match.
Marcus,
let's make it sound like it was more impressive than anything else.
No, I said I like the dive.
No, Marcus, the question you posed to Maddie, you said, Maddie, what did you think of that dive?
That is a question.
You really love this dive. You really
I
love
thought
the
it
dive.
was a good dive. I'm just saying, Manny, what'd you think of the dive? It wasn't like, what'd you think of that? Huh? What do you think of that? Huh? What do you think of that?
It felt like that.
It did not. You took it as that. I mean, you can't bring up spots without you being offended in this match. He dove on him. Want me to ignore that he dove on him? Because it happened.
Manny, you're the third party. Didn't Marcus seem like he really enjoyed that dive? Like, this dive was the best.
Especially the way he's arguing for the dive.
Yeah, I'm not arguing for the dive. I just thought it was a good dive. And it was just the ridicule that I was like, man, this dive is getting a lot of heat. Didn't realize that this would be the breaking point.
Because the dive caught more of the barricade than it did Omega.
Well, then, we can disagree. I was like, I don't care.
I don't know why we didn't say that in a 2-minute fault.
I don't understand why it's still going on. I was ready to read the next spot. And
no, I still going on because you're trying to fit that dive.
I don't care about the dive. I don't care about the dive. It's a dive. I said it's a good dive.
When you go back and edit this, you're gonna see your passion for this dive.
I'm gonna take away the dive. I'm gonna take the dive on the show.
You're gonna edit it out. You're gonna edit it out.
Hey man, it looks like we're crazy. We were thinking of him.
Can I continue the match? Let me continue the match. There's a lot to cover. Okay, there's a lot to cover. All right, we don't need to stop at less than the halfway point. We're nearly 2 minutes into this match. Oh. So they do your spot, Eric, of having a commercial break, picture in picture. I'm not a fan of picture in picture, never will be, but for the sake of this review, I watched picture in picture, and I saw the weak ass chops you're talking about, Eric. Like nothing was happening in picture in picture. How do you feel about that? It was worse with the
audio, man. It was worse with the audio.
Manny, how do you?
I hated it. And let's not talk about the commentators talk about everything but the match. I don't even know what Jericho was trying to sell throughout the entire night. Oh my God.
Eric, at one point, he was having a full-on conversation about different parts of Canada and why Manitoba, Canada was the best part because him and Kenya are both from there. And I felt like that was the most stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life.
In a big match, we didn't need that.
And then the announcer was like, but what about Calgary? And I'm like, why are we talk about the match?
What about Montreal, Eric? What about Montreal?
Did you not see that dive that Ray Phoenix did?
I can't say shit. The dive heard around the world. You know that's gonna be the thumbnail for this show. It's just gonna be Ray Phoenix.
Prompts. That was impressive.
That's it. The dive is gonna be the thumbnail for the show. The dive is gonna be the thumbnail for the show. I didn't care about this dive, but it keeps being brought up. We come back for commercial break. Omega throws Phoenix into the ropes. But Phoenix slingshots himself once again, throws a hook kick. I don't even call it a hook kick, but the counter called it. I honestly don't know what it was. Omega begins to give Phoenix the V-trigger, who popped up and then super kicked Omega. Both men went down. I actually like the spot of him bouncing up and down. And I know you guys are going to hate it because of lack of selling, but I thought it had some really good energy. Manny, what did you think of the V-trigger into falling to the ground, popping up into the super kick, and then falling down again?
I liked it, but like it's not something we haven't seen before. Like there's a spot coming up where I will mark out for that spot because that was a very cool spot. But this I wasn't really too told. I've seen it before.
Okay, Eric, the nip up spot that you apparently fell asleep on in the middle of the show.
I didn't fall asleep on the show, Marcus. I just felt that. For me personally, it just tells me that if you're Kenny Omega, at this point, if one of your signature moves can allow a man to be able to take that signature move, kip up, and super kick you, you might need to get a new signature move. I mean,
that's telling Baron Corbin he need a new deep six, and don't you take away the deep six from Baron Corbin.
I mean,
white noise from Sheamus.
Athletically, it's impressive, but at the end of the day, it's another power move in a match that doesn't have much psychology. And they're not selling, and I just want to let everybody know.
All right, for the record, that needs to be a t-shirt. That needs to be a t-shirt. Oh, I don't even know what we're talking about. I got distracted.
You were talking about
so we did the kick up. Yeah, I liked it. It was solid. It had good energy to it, but I love Ray Phoenix. I like everything Ray Phoenix does. Sorry, it's a little biased in here.
Clearly, that's why we know, because you like that dive.
Oh, fucking. So, Ray Phoenix did do a springboard Moments later, he does some spinny thing. He misses. Kenny Omega thinks. Oh wait, did I jump ahead? Let's talk about the Hurricanrana spot. I'm just gonna jump ahead. I don't know where I misplaced myself in the notes. They go into the corner. There's springboard. Kenny Omega gets a Hurricanrana and falls flat on his head via the helps of Rey Fenix. I thought that was a very powerful German suplex. Didn't believe Fenix had a chance of winning, but I thought that was a really nice spot to backflip into the Hurricanrana. Manny, I'm gonna go to you. I don't even. Marcus died spot.
So yeah, the flip into the German suplex, incredible. That's the kind of stuff you watch Rey Fenix for. Like when he previously did that dive to the outside in a match last year, where he did the most overused move of the flip pile driver, the flip Canadian destroyer,
the Canadian destroyer, Panama Sunrise.
So some of those moves where you just think Rey Fenix he does some crazy shit. That's the kind of stuff you're looking for, and that's the move I really enjoyed.
Yeah.
And excuse me for being Mr. Negativity, but this was BMF. I've had big move fatigue at this point. Like, you've already done so many big moves. I just feel like, oh, here's another great big move that someone's not going to sell or it's not going to get you a win.
You have hate in your heart.
But no, I'm just saying it's one of those things where if you keep giving me scoops of vanilla ice cream, I get tired of it.
Vanilla ice cream is the worst
ice cream. What happened, Marcus?
Vanilla is the worst ice cream.
Sometimes you want something plain, but at the same time, you can give me chocolate chip. After a while, you get tired of it. And I'm sorry, they have already done so many big spots in this match. This is just another big spot that I felt that they're not going to sell. And quite frankly, not that much, because after that big spot, Kenny got up and was ready to go with his big finish you're going to talk about.
No. I have other spots I want to talk about before we get to Kenny's big finish, because I'm just going to paraphrase all of my notes for this. There was a million V triggers. Eventually, Fenix goes to the outside, runs in, jumps off the middle rope, gives an RKO/cutter to Kenny Omega, which I thought was really impressive. Yonaka was trying to distract him, but the distraction made no sense because it wasn't used anyway. Then there's another spot in which Omega has Rey Fenix on the ropes, and then Rey Fenix jumps at him, and he catches him to give him the Tiger Driver 97. Don't think the year actually matters, but he gave it to him. And then we go into the One Ring Angel, which no one kicks out of except for Rey Fenix, who got his shoulder up at the end for the 3.
Which Aubrey Edwards was staring at. He was staring at it while his shoulder was up.
Yep. So in all those athletic moves for Rey Fenix and into this big finish, and with the finish of his shoulder being up, Eric, what did you think of the finish of this match?
It was there. I mean, like, I just feel like, for me, watching Kenny Omega, none of your moves have any impact because you can't put this man out. You had to do like 35 different moves to put this man out. And then even when you put him out, you probably didn't really put him out because his shoulder could have been up, but the referee messed up. So, technically, what did you have in your arsenal, Omega, to make me believe that you're a real champion? Nothing.
Well, I understand this was Marco's stunt when he was doing that and did like 30 V triggers to Marco's stunt that one time. I understand that, but at least I don't mind him doing his big moves to like Rey Fenix if they're trying to elevate Rey Fenix. Let Rey Fenix.
Yeah, but we know Rey Fenix might not be on TV for the next couple of weeks.
You don't know that.
Shit. If anything, it'll probably be more prominent if Rey Fenix was the TNT champion instead of Darby Allin, who I don't know when the last time. I think the last time he defended the title was when I had a show that came on Saturday.
He will be defending it tonight.
He's never defended the title.
In fact,
he's defending it tonight because we're recording on the 13th of January.
In fact, Eric, he lost the title to -1 via Tony Khan. And then they gave him his own new title. So he's only had that title for a week. Therefore, he's only had his new title for a week, and he's defending it tonight. But that was a taped show. So as soon as he got that title, he is accepting that title shot the same night. So he is a fighting champion. A fighting champion.
Still defending it against, though?
Oh, the Limp Dick Brian Cage.
So that's like, for me, the whole thing about like...
We're not talking about that. Stay focused.
No, I'm going back to Rey Fenix.
Oh, okay.
Like, You said Ray Phoenix had a great showing against Omega. Yeah, I guess you could say it elevated him, but elevated him to do what? Like, he's not going to go no other. I don't like spot fest matches, and I know that's what AEW is, and I understand that every time we do these review shows that I participate, AEW is going to be knocked because I don't like spot fest.
You may get a Cody match. I may give you a Cody match.
Manny, go ahead, man. I don't.
He hit you with a trump card there, man. That's what he's done.
Cody don't have spot fests, man.
I like it be some old slow ass Cody matches because it's the only thing different from AEW.
The ending I liked, but then I hated myself for the way I watch wrestling now. I watch wrestling too analytically, and then I saw the mistake and I couldn't accept that mistake happened, and they allowed it to continue.
Manny, you shouldn't hate yourself. You should hate Marcus because he made you watch this match with a fine-tooth comb so you can see what's going on.
No, I knew it happened the first time I watched it. That's the problem.
Oh,
but Manny, and I recall, and I'm gonna pull up this notes I have from the show, a quotation from what your response was for this match, and I'm gonna just paraphrase this quote because I didn't actually write it down. I just have it memorized. You said this was the only saving grace about this episode of Dynamite.
Yeah.
Was this match. And, get out of here. You're going to invade the Capitol. Stop it.
Yeah, and Eric will dive through the window.
Oh, man.
Yeah, if you honestly look back at that AEW episode of Dynamite, it was trash.
Yeah.
Trash. But like, this was the saving grace that, do you know what, Dynamite finished all right.
Yeah.
So Eric, did you only watch this match, or did you watch the whole of Dynamite?
I did.
Just this match or the whole of Dynamite?
He didn't watch the end. He didn't watch the post match Bullet Club stuff.
No, I didn't care about the whole Bullet Club. I mean, like, quite frankly, let me put it. Like, it sounds like I'm a very hateful person on this match.
You're a very hateful person in general. We all know it.
I get what it looks like, but if I was going on the old rating scale, this would have been a 3-star match also. Like, it was a match that happened. Because I can understand that it's not a match that appeals to me.
Can we go to the current rating scale? Can we just, before you spoil everything, go to the current rating scale?
Because I'm going to be low my 3-star.
It's okay. It's okay, man.
All right, let's go to the scale then.
All right, we're going to talk about story. That's the first category. I'm throwing to Manny. The story get a star for you.
No, it did not follow any type of story. Did not make sense. Ray Phoenix got a title match because he got injured in the tournament, much like Joey Janela a few weeks ago, who got a title match because he got COVID and could not participate in the tournament.
Let's not also forget about Eddie Kingston, who also got title matches because he was the only one not sick from the Battle Royal, although he didn't win the Battle Royal, but he came up with some special stipulation.
That was against John Moxley. I was talking about Kenny's ridiculous
Kenny's.
Yeah, so it just doesn't make sense because this now links back to its own ranking scale, and that's a whole argument in itself. So I'm not going to even go there. But yeah, this does not follow any type of story.
Okay, I'm going to go into my story rant before you go, Eric.
I don't have much. It's short.
I'm always concerned, okay? Because, I don't want to forget my thought. I deducted points for story because the story was that, Pac and Pinto had Ray Phoenix back, but they never came out the ring. They had no reason not to come out the ringside with him. Don Callis was out there. You would think they would want somebody who interfered. No, they were on the show. They were on the show. They didn't come out with him. And, you have Pac cutting all his promos for him. You would think they would come out the ringside to keep eye on Don Callis, who interfered slightly in this match. So, I took away any story point. There wasn't anything that they built to. It was just more like, we're going to do so watch what Ray Phoenix can do. Eric?
I just feel like the storyline of the whole, piggybacking on what Manny said, is that, like, he was injured, so now he's fighting Kenny Omega. When he was injured, he gave his match to his brother Pentagon, who he beat. So, technically, you have no type of entitlement to this match against the champion. I mean, if you
Eh,
just want to
that's
say, hey,
wrestling.
we're making the match, feel free, but don't try to make it like you're trying to make up for some wrong that you made that wrong up when Kenny Omega, because technically Kenny Omega should have had a bye. He shouldn't have to fight Pentagon when Ray Phoenix got hurt because technically the person got eliminated. So
that's pro wrestling, though. I'm not gonna knock him for pro wrestling shit.
Eric, you can't talk. I mean, Marcus, you can't mention it's pro wrestling when they are saying they are better than everyone else because they have a ranking scale.
Yeah.
Well, if you want to knock him and say the ranking system, I'm fine, but don't knock a pro wrestling show for I'm gonna put somebody in the title picture.
Sir, excuse me, sir. You're not going to sit here and tell me what I can knock somebody for or not. You said these are my stars. You're not going to influence my stars. And you asked me if the story made any sense of why these two participants were fighting. Yes, it may have had an epic dive in this match, but that doesn't make it a good match. It doesn't make it a purposeful match. I'm just saying.
Motherfucker.
Marcus, are you giving a star for the dive?
All right.
In ring, just out of spite. Now we're going to talk about the in-ring. We're going to talk about the atmosphere of the match. What did you think of Daily Place, which they may not be there that much longer. And by the time it's come out, they may not even be there. The crowd, the gun club out there rooting along, the commentary, production, camera shots, blah, 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 blah. Eric, I'm going to toss it to you.
I'll give it a star.
You have no positive things to say why that star is happening.
They have fireworks. I mean, they got a live audience. I mean, what more can you say? But if you want me to, I can take this star away because
I don't care. I don't manipulate your stars, man. Do what you got to do. Don't just be like I give a pity star for no reason.
You know what? Then I'm taking my star away because their commentating sucks. The commentating sucks, so no star for me.
And it's
actually,
commentary.
I'll give him a star. I'll give him a star. 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Manny, go ahead.
For what it was, I thought the atmosphere was okay. The commentary was okay at times. However, that is not enough to contribute to a star for me.
I'm also taking away the atmosphere production star. Commentary was trash. Jericho was just talking about nonsense in Canada. They did some promos and commercials like in the middle of this match talking about don't forget to go to AEWshop.com and do this and bring up like I don't want to talk about your merchandise in the middle of a championship match. Also, I feel like you lose a star for the fact that when the finish happens, they have a way they should have a different camera angle to show that that doesn't show Kenny pinning Ray Phoenix with the shoulder up. They only had that one shot, so therefore when they showed the replay of the One Ring Angel, they were in the clip after that. They wouldn't actually show it.
But they actually had to I think it was Jericho backtracking almost like
he did
to cover up the mistake where he was saying if he had anything left in him he wouldn't be able to kick out and all this nonsense, which didn't even make sense because his shoulder was up.
Yeah,
his shoulder was up.
His shoulder is up. The match continued with shoulders up. So they lose a point for that. The big interest, Daily Place, the crowd was fine. They got the "This is awesome" chant as everybody wants. And what a dive, right? They jumped into the crowd, so that's a good atmosphere.
So you're giving it a star?
No, I didn't give him a star. I was just messing around at the end. Okay. Now we're going to in-ring. Oh, no. Did I skip stipulation?
Yeah.
I did. Let's talk about the stipulation. I think they had till TV time remaining. Whatever, it doesn't matter. They didn't follow. They don't get a star out of me just because they refuse to count people on the outside of the ring.
Yeah, that's why they get a star for me.
And of course, they weren't getting a star from me.
So we didn't even need to go through that. Everybody knew where that was going. And finally, it's in-ring work. Eric, what did you think of
we have 2 more stars remaining, Marcus.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Entertainment.
Enjoyment.
Yeah. What do you think of the in-ring contribution?
No star for me, buddy.
No star.
If you can't sell, you can't get a star from me.
Damn. Manny.
I'm going to say it was okay. The match was okay and I enjoyed it. But then I'm looking back at originally I was like, this is basically what saved AEW this week for me for being a complete shit show. And then I said that despite Phoenix shoulder being up and the amount of leeway Aubrey Edwards gave them as a referee, yeah, I thought it was okay, so I'm giving it a star.
I gave the in-ring a star, but it's only because, you know, one, I enjoy Ray Phoenix athleticism, and he does stuff I have never seen people do before. Like when he did the springboard RKO. Yes, it's a dive to the inside of the ring, and he landed that on Kitty. The backflip German suplex, the dive. I really enjoyed the in-ring work. I thought both men did solid work. They didn't really have the psychology I would want in an in-ring match, but I thought it was innovative enough that it brought that to the table. I gave him a star for in-ring. Now, to overall,
So,
was it
I'm curious, where are our star counts at? Because I know I'm 1 star.
I'm
right
one
now.
star.
I'm 1 star right now, too.
Okay.
No, did you give 1 for atmosphere, Eric?
No, I took it away.
I don't know where you're at.
Wait. That might be my only star I gave it for, right? Yeah, so no, they have 1 star right there. Yeah,
Okay.
you're right.
So now we're at
'Cause that's it.
entertainment / the wow factor. Did anything excite you? Manny, I go to you.
Like I said, I enjoyed the match, but when you take the rules out of the equation, I think it completely the rules of wrestling as well. It takes you out of the actual viewing experience. So for me, overall, I believe this is a 1-star match.
Oh, Eric.
So this is where I kind of I differ from my man from across the pond in this situation. Like he gave a star for the in-ring action, and I just could not give that star there because in-ring it was flawed. But I would say when we go to overall fun of the match, I feel like for what this match was, it was fun. If you don't care about the selling, you can see it. Like I can see someone who has not watched wrestling. Wow, this is really impressive. I'm a little bit more seasoned, so I'll give them a star. So they get 2 stars from me, buddy. That's a star.
So you're on 2 stars. You're
For overall fun. Yeah, overall fun.
All right. So here's my final take on this one about entertainment and excitement. I thought they brought the entertainment to it. If this match was a non-title start of the show kind of match that just got the crowd hyped into it, let's say if it was just like a cruiserweight match in the middle of a show or something like that, or if it was on a random episode of Raw and SmackDown, I would probably be like, you know what, that was a solid match. I care less about it. They did what they had to do. But this was the main event title. I thought it was entertaining, just in general. Like, the moves I saw, the excitement. It was some excitement to it. I'm giving it a star for the entertainment factor. I thought they brought it. They carried that last part of that show. They made Dynamite something that you could at least say, hey, that Ray Phoenix Omega had a match this week. That was pretty good.
So what's your overall 2?
I got 2. Mine ended with 2. So Eric, are you doing the math right now?
I had 2.
It's 1 2/3 or 1.67.
2.67. I mean 1.67.
We
Which
should just
to me is really unfair because it was a 3-star match. It's nowhere close to a 5-star match.
Eric!
No,
I know
Eric.
I'm breaking our own system. I know.
As much as you ran it on so much shit on this, you could call it it's okay. 2 stars is okay then. It's okay to be 2 stars.
You have
Just
to
so you're okay
understand,
with
like,
it.
for
Me,
me,
we're doing very strict, harsh reviews. Not everything is gonna be 3 stars.
no, because it's one of those things where AEW is like a minority in this. They already have so many strikes against them. It's going to be a harder ladder for them to climb, and I feel bad about that.
What about FTR matches or stuff like that? It's not gonna always be an AEW
Last time
match.
FTR been on TV.
They're gonna be on tonight. They fight Marco Stunt and Jungle Boy.
Woo!
In a tag team match, player. Well, you don't know when it may not air tonight. Who knows when people watch this or when it comes out? But the January 13th edition of Dynamite, they had that match.
I want to point out that match did not excite me at all.
You know, we're not here to excite you. It's fine, Eric. It's all right. I don't understand why you fight your own grading scale of what the matches are.
Well,
You're like,
it's not my grading scale. It's your grading scale. I'm playing by the rules that you painted.
You already changed one of the grades, so
I did.
So technically, you are arguing with yourself.
So no, because I gave a star to overall fun. That was mine. That's my only contribution to the grading scale. Overall fun. Because I would not give a star for presentation. I just would not.
Oh, so what would one of your stars with how much hate it filled you with?
Yeah.
I believe that would be a very accurate star.
Well, I like that we have your review of a match, and then we have your real review. We gave it 2 stars, but in actuality,
I gave it 1. Yeah,
Manny only gave 1. I gave 2, and I think
Manny,
that's where it is. That's where it's at.
Manny, do you really think that was a 1-star match?
Well, based on our criteria, yes, but it wasn't. I wouldn't say it was a 5-star match.
I know. I think we can both agree on that. It's nowhere 5-star.
I think it was a completely average match. So,
Yes.
if you were gonna give it, I would say its ceiling is 3 stars. It could be anywhere. You could rank it anywhere between 1 and 3, but its ceiling is 3. There's no way in hell it should be a 5.
And I felt the same way about the match I reviewed last week between Finn and O'Reilly. The 1 to 3, it can't go over 3. It's nothing about it that says, "Hey, this was special." You don't get that.
We gave
it
it
gets
3.5.
a participation.
We gave it 3.5. Our scale is working, guys. It got a 3.5. This is like a 2.7.
3.67.
This is like a 2.7. This is right. This is like this is just what 0.3 from being 3 stars. I feel like our scale worked. I'm okay with it. I'm happy where we're at with both of these reviews that we did. I can live with it. Not every match is 5 stars, okay?
Not every match is a dive.
Well, no. The other thing is, while we all may like certain things, we all differ in certain opinions.
That's
which
true.
Which is why the discussion of the Metacritic of reviews for wrestling is important.
Yes. We need one. But it's just so much hate. So much hate, Eric. I didn't realize the dive was going to get so much hate. I read it. I thought it was a nice dive.
I did not give the dive hate. You
went on a rant about how I like the dive.
You made it out that was the most impressive thing you've ever seen.
I thought it was a good dive, and it wasn't the dive. It wasn't the most impressive thing in the match. I thought the springboard RKO cutter move was my favorite, or that time he jumped in Omega's arms and he caught him were the more impressive moves. I just brought up the dive.
What did you think about the dive?
Yes, Marcus. I want you to
It was
listen
the
real
spot.
quick.
It was the spot.
Listen, Marcus. Just listen. You made the dive more than what it was. You talked about everything, and then the first question you threw to Manny. So, Manny, what did you think of that dive? And you had so much excitement behind you when you asked him that question. And then when I talked bad about the dive, you jumped to the dive defense like you was like Larry H. Parker here. I'm here to defend this dive. I mean, go back and look at the footage, Marcus. You were very passionate about this dive that I would point out that he missed a lot of. But you did explain your passion. You like Ray Fenix, and we get that. You've been a Ray Fenix fan for a long time, so he can do no wrong.
He did wrong in this match, and I pointed out that he did a springboard that didn't actually land into Omega's knee, and he pointed his hands up for no reason at the end of the match. It's not Kenny's fault. That was all Ray Fenix's fault. There's no reason why his orb is coming up right there. No reason. So that's the end of the show, guys. I hope you enjoyed this review of Omega Ray Fenix. If you have any difference in the review, and if you want to argue with us, or if you want to talk about how all dives matter, please enter it in the comments below. I am Marcus the Grand Finale, and I'm joined by
Lord Manny Hayes, and we were joined by
the hater. And I lived up to my title. Thank you. Oh, no, sorry. You're welcome.
Oh. What are you, MJF?
Just remember to catch us all through the week. We have all types of content and stuff going out. Buy our merchandise at storefrontier.com/DSPN. And hope you tune in next time when we review another show. And just remember one fact. All dives matter.